welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to say a few words. It's going along with a blog post I just wrote, and I wanted to tie it together and a little bit more aspect of it on video. So here goes. So last couple of years I've owned an Audi TT-RS and have been absorbed in the Audi community, doing a lot of fun things, mostly racing, car shows, things like that. Back in December, I went 180 miles an hour in that TT-RS with a pure hybrid, pure 850. It's been a little bit revised since then. Mine was more of a prototype, but I went 180 miles an hour. It's faster than a lot of people have gone in a half mile, and it had more in it for top speed, and it has more in it for power. But that was the limit, and that was getting dialed in that day. So most people would be impressed by that. I was impressed. I was surprised in a way, but happy. And you know what? It wasn't me doing it. I was just doing the driving. Now you have to surround yourself with a good team. Pure supply to turbo, custom code supply to tune, and my engine builder Nathan Samuels out of Apex Motoring was there supporting me the whole way, building the engine, and flew out to support on that first inaugural run of racing. I also had a couple friends from Toronto fly down at the same time with him and came and participated as well, and it was great fun to surround myself with such a great team to accomplish that. There's no way you can do these things by yourself without teamwork. No matter how much you know about engine building or whatever else, you'll still need that team around you for one aspect or another. So that being said, I wanted to talk about what I've encountered in this business over the last 2 years. And it's been pretty pathetic and a little bit upsetting to me. I grew up around cars. My dad was not a mechanic, but he loves cars too, and I acquired that taste from him. We always did our car projects together. We built a couple dune buggies. We worked on other car projects. We've done a lot of different things together. So growing up, it was great fun. We would go to car shows, check out the Porsches. We went car shopping all the time. No matter if we're buying a car or not, we still like to go to the dealership and check it out. Cars have always been fun for me. The last 2 years, it's still been a lot of fun. 2+ years, in fact. Gone to the track. I've gone quarter-mile racing. I've been half-mile racing, and half-mile racing is one of my favorite things to do. Some people didn't think that a hybrid could go that fast. No matter if it's a TT-RS or an RS3, didn't matter. So they placed wagers on who would win. Would it be a big turbo going faster or a hybrid going faster? And that day, that weekend I should say, I went fastest of hybrids versus big turbo in the platform RS3/TT-RS. It's the same engine, same transmission, and yes, the TT-RS has a little bit better aerodynamics. However, when racing a friend of mine with his RS3, when we had the same turbo setup and the same tune, we were 2 miles an hour different on a half mile. So it doesn't make a huge amount of difference from what I've seen racing. So my turbo, my car, has gone faster than anybody else in the RS and the Audi world, except for big turbos that are supposed to be 1,000 horsepower kits. The big turbos that are 850 kits, none of them have gone faster in a standing half mile. They've gone faster in rolling half miles, but not standing half miles. I'm not throwing any shade, as some people say. I'm just stating facts. And these are the facts. Now, this is the part that's so disappointing to me in this last couple years. People are haters. They don't like it when you do better than them. In fact, they get downright nasty to you. They talk trash, or as they say in Facebook land, trolling. They're trollers. They like to troll people. They're rude, obnoxious, and just flat out nasty. And that's a problem. That's a major problem. Cars are supposed to unite people and not split them apart. And this is what I've seen a lot of. People are very competitive, and that's fine. And it's fine to have a little bit of fun, trash talking each other in fun ways. But this is not fun ways. These are nasty ways. And then people claim it hurts their business. Well, if you didn't talk nasty to people, it wouldn't hurt your business. You could have a lot of fun with people. You could be nice to people, and everybody would like you better for it. And they wouldn't call you out. You wouldn't have people chasing you. They would chase you for records, but they wouldn't chase you because they want to beat you because they can't stand you. There's a difference. It's fine being on top, and it's fine not being on top. You're not racing to win any awards or money unless you own a shop, and the shop cars are usually the fastest cars, so that's fine. But if you're not a shop car, why are you being so nasty about it? So this kind of brings me to another point. You got to be very careful who you're watching online. Some of these nasty people, I won't mention any names, but I think some of it will come out. Some of the nasty people have been called out for their nastiness. And in fact, I've seen one comment that a person was so turned off by the attitude of this other person that they said, look, I would have gone, and I'll call this out, I would have gone with custom code. But because of your attitude, I didn't want to do custom code, because if the customer has the attitude of of this, then what is the attitude of custom code? That's a problem. That turns off potential new customers. And the other thing about that is, that person responded and said, you don't know the ins and outs of what's going on behind the scenes. Well, let me tell you a little bit behind the scenes. If those people are always talking trash, acting like they know everything there is to know, that doesn't mean they know everything there is to know. A person that doesn't know everything, nobody can know everything. Nobody. So if you know a lot, you don't have to act like you know everything, because you don't. This is what I like about my engine builder, Nathan Samuels, the most. He knows more than anybody I've met about making big power. And I haven't met everybody in the industry, but I've met quite a few now in the last 2.5 years. He knows more than anybody I know. And it's because he's made big power in the GTR platform, and now he's making big power in the RS3 TTRS platform, the 5-cylinder platform. He doesn't tell me he knows everything. If I ask him a question and he says, hey, I don't know, let me think about it, let me call a friend, and let me call somebody else that might know more than me, and we'll discuss it. Then he'll get back to me with his answer. That's a more appropriate response than telling me a lie or a half-truth. I would much rather somebody tell me they don't know and go find the answer than have somebody tell me they know and they don't, and my engine blows. That's the problem I'm having with this situation today, is that some of the people I've met act like they know everything, and they've caused other people's engines to blow. And I don't like that. And it's not their fault directly, but indirectly it plays a major part. And it's not a good thing to be. In fact, it's downright disrespectful. I would hold them liable if I had blown my engine. If I had put a big turbo on my engine, stock block, and I blew up based on the fact of another person telling me that they're running a stock block, big turbo, when they weren't in fact running a stock block, and they were racing this whole time and telling me they were only making 500 torque and making 650, 680 horsepower, but yet they're still going 178 miles an hour in the half mile, if you pay attention, you'll realize that 650 to 680 horsepower in an RS3 is not going to make you do 178 miles an hour in the half mile. None of them have. With the built motors, big turbos, the same setup, they're all going 178 or so, 176, 178, that range. And they're all going the same speeds, and they're all built motors. So they must all be making very similar horsepower, which they're all have admitted they made 750 to 770 horsepower. So what I'm saying is you need to pay careful attention to what people say and what they do. You can all look at the numbers. Everybody can pay attention to it. Everybody can observe how much horsepower somebody says they're making and how fast they're actually going. It just takes a little bit of research and paying attention to what happens. So don't pay attention to words that come out of people's mouths all the time. Actions always speak louder. Look, you got to surround yourself with good people, a good team. And I'm not talking about being a fanboy of that team. I'm talking about being supportive of that team, and they support you. You don't have to talk so much smack to everybody about your team is the best, because your team has faults too. We're all just enthusiasts here. None of us are professionals. We're not professional racers, and in fact, this professional racing doesn't have this happen to them. So we need to chill out on that. It's not very good for the environment. It's not very good for the car community. So check out my blog. I've also talked a little bit more about some of this stuff. This video will be embedded into that blog post, and I just wanted to kind of go back and forth. I'll link it below the blog post so that you can see it, but I wanted to talk a little bit more in video to just discuss some of these issues. It greatly upsets me, and it has affected my enjoyment of my car. And you know, I've kind of turned it off, and the way I turn it off is I cut people out of my life. So there's been no offense. I'm not trying to be offensive either. I'm just trying to be have this stuff take up less of my brain space and less of my time. And I just want to get this off my chest and discuss it on a video and a blog post. So thanks for watching. If you watched it all the way to the end, please like and subscribe the video and subscribe to my channel, and there'll be a lot more videos to come.